Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. My first X Games was 1997. Kind of a wild ride. I got a spot for like park, or they called it street at the time. And then I remember really wanting to ride dirt, so I went up and asked Steve Swope, hey, is there any way I could like ride dirt? That's kind of where my background is. He's like, oh yeah, I'll put your name on the list. And it was like that easy. There was no real like qualifying process. It was just like, yeah, you should be in there. And you know, all I had to do was ask, and I got a spot for dirt. So I kind of rolled up there. And I remember like up there with TJ Lavin, who was like the guy that, you know, pretty much was slated to win. And
I remember Troy McMurray being up there.
I was kind of intimidated by him because I'd seen him in videos, and he rolled right up. You know, I was all padded up, like real tense and like kind of like, oh, like this. And he's like, all right, let's get this one out of the way. In the first set, and just went to 3 it and just jumped off and crashed. And he was just like, all right. First thing he did was just crash. He was just like, got that out of the way. And I was just like, all right. And that kind of set the tone. I was like, all right, this isn't so serious. And so I just started having a lot of fun just riding the jumps. And for me, it was like just a good opportunity to ride big jumps, which I didn't really get to do a lot. I ended up somehow like qualifying first. It was one of those weird moments where you didn't really realize what was happening until like they read the list. And I was like, whoa, like I qualified first. And then I got like super nervous, like ridiculously nervous, like butterflies, like all of a sudden it was real serious. It was like, whoa, like if that was the X Games, I would have won. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and it got like a lot less fun than it did during qualifying. I did the first 2 runs, and was sitting in a pretty good position. Like I think I was sitting in the podium, but I definitely needed to pull a last run, and so I was gonna half bars from the first little jump, and then 360 the setup, and then I was gonna do a truck driver with the bars backwards and land bars backwards with like the last big set. I got this, you know, like did this so many times in practice. It's not even that big a deal. And I just rolled in, did the half, did the 360. I overshot like so bad. And I remember still like just going, I got this. It's gonna work. I'm gonna power through it. I'm gonna win it. And like I just went up and just pushed through the 360 as hard as I could. And I hung up and just OTV over the bars. Everything just flew out. You know, I ended up getting third, which wasn't bad for like the first X Games, but it just being that close and having that taste, I need to win now, you know, like just knowing I could have. So it pretty much came down to like